You know that thing where you mentally reply to an email and then 3 days later realize you never actually sent it? Or you have this brilliant idea while you're driving and by the time you get to your desk it's just poof, gone. Yeah, me too. More than I would care to admit. Welcome to the HR Diary AI Field Notes Episode 2. In each episode I share techniques that have helped me gain fresh perspectives, boost productivity, and make work more fun. Today, I want to show you 2 techniques that have fundamentally changed how I capture and process information: Notecatcher and Podcaster. Quick context. There are 3 layers where AI can boost productivity: enterprise, department, and personal. We are focused on personal level right now. Now, a heads up. If you're already vibe coding and programming AI agents, this might feel basic. You might pick up a cross-context lesson or 2, but this is really for people who are in the middle of their AI journey, who want practical techniques they can use tomorrow. If that's you, hit subscribe. Actually, hit subscribe anyway. Alright, let's talk about how to never lose another idea again. So, we have already established that both you and I reply to emails in our heads and let the flash of insights disappear. Even with solid knowledge management systems, and trust me, I'm a productivity geek, the days sometimes move too fast. Here's my new solution. First, on my drive to work, I open ChatGPT and talk through everything I need to get done that day that might have slipped past my organizational system. No typing, no filtering, just a brain dump. By the time I arrive at the office, the cloud of thoughts is neatly organized. I quickly cross-check that note with my to-do list and kick off the day. Then, throughout the day, if an idea strikes, I simply pull out my phone and dictate again. This method is especially powerful for meetings. During a session, I take my regular notes in Notion. Right afterward, though, while the conversations are still fresh in my head, I dictate a quick voice note summarizing what we discussed. What I really love about this is that your thinking isn't limited by the keystrokes and you can walk and think. You let your ideas flow freely and AI transcribes and organizes that cloud of thoughts. And on top of that, research shows that recalling information right after learning dramatically improves retention. Let's get nerdy for a bit. According to the Ebbinghaus Forgetting Curve, we forget up to 55%, I kid you not, of what we learn within the first hour unless we review it. Dictation also helps me identify what I didn't fully understand. The Feynman technique tells us that if you can't explain something to a 12-year-old, you haven't fully grasped it. So, when I struggle to explain something out loud, I know I need to go deeper. I use Microsoft Copilot since this is our enterprise tool, but if your company allows, ChatGPT does better work at this. I recommend setting up a single dedicated project for all 3 note types: to-dos, ideas, and meeting notes. With the project instructions I'm sharing in the description down below, ChatGPT can identify the note type and organize the output accordingly. So, for instance, if you're dictating something that is simply a meeting note, you will get executive summary, purpose, context, key discussion points, insights, decisions, action items, all of that. When you're sharing an idea, it will capture the core concept, insights, possible applications, and next steps. And finally, when you're just going through your to-do items, you will get task summary, owner, and due date. At scheduled times during the week, I review these notes, transfer key details into my main system, and follow up on them. Now, let's talk about NotebookLM. This one is from Google's AI suite, and it's kind of amazing. Here's how it works. You can create a dedicated notebook for any topic you're working on and then upload all the materials: PDFs, slide decks, audio files, video links, plain text, you name it. NotebookLM digests everything and becomes your personalized research assistant. You can go in there, ask questions, and follow up on any topic or just find information that you need. And a very important point, Google confirms your data remains private and isn't used to train its models. NotebookLM has some really cool features, especially if you're learning something new. You can generate mind maps, you can create flashcards, you can create even a short animation, but we will talk about this in the third episode. But here's where it gets wild. And I'll be honest, when I first heard about this feature, I thought it was just a gimmick. It can create a podcast based on your materials. Like a full audio podcast up to 30 minutes with 2 hosts who sit there and discuss your content. Actually, well, they don't sit there, but they do discuss your content in their own conversational style. I know, right? It sounds Bizarre, but it gets better. Once the podcast is generated, you can actually jump into the conversation yourself. You add your thoughts, you add your questions or new perspectives, and the hosts respond to what you said. If you haven't played around this yet, seriously, go give it a go. I found 2 ways this fits into my work routine. First, on-the-go priming. Let's say I'm heading into a meeting or need to get up to speed with something, but I'm commuting or I just don't have time to sit down and read. I upload the materials to Notebook, generate the podcast, and then just listen while I'm driving. It's like having someone giving me the executive summary, except in a way more engaging way. Second, my Friday reflection ritual. You see, every Friday, I sit down and I review my week. I want to celebrate wins, I want to reflect on setbacks. In short, I want to squeeze as many lessons from that week as possible. And then I plan for the next week, a simple routine. I've been doing this for a long time now, I don't remember. But now, AI has supercharged my ritual. I compile all the relevant notes, both typed and those dictated. I upload them to NotebookLM and generate a podcast recap. There is something uniquely powerful about hearing 2 realistic sounding hosts reflecting on your week from an outside perspective. It, and I kid you not, opens new dimensions. It frames my work in ways I hadn't thought about. You get this objective distance and slight detachment from your own data. A recent MIT study showed that 95% of enterprise-level AI investments have yielded no results so far. Except for tech and customer service sectors, most industries are still struggling to adopt AI effectively. And that's on enterprise level. Personal level productivity gains are real and transformative. As one JP Morgan executive recently put it,
if you're not frustrated using AI in your company, then you're nowhere near where you should be. Mm-hmm. And your entire teams need to be highly frustrated with it not moving as fast as your brain is trying to think about it. And that means you have the curious worker who's going to take you to the next generation.
In other words, you need to test the boundaries and make forays into the new territories all the time. My name is Jafar, and this was the HR Diary AI Field Notes episode 2. If you found this valuable, please subscribe and click like. It's a simple way and a free way to support the channel. Keep experimenting, stay curious, HR out.